Hello, everyone. Today, my guest is Cory McKane. Cory McKane is the founder and CEO of WeStrive, which is an application for personal trainers. So, Cory, tell us a little bit about yourself and what WeStrive is all about, how it was founded.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've been building WeStrive for a very long time now. Started off as kind of like a dinky little website, and I started building it up. And essentially what we created now is we're a CRM or a SaaS platform. So like a client management tool for the personal training industry. And then on top of that, within the mobile app, it's a marketplace for fitness plans and to find your own trainer. So we really take a holistic approach with it. So instead of just having the part where you can work with clients, and then instead of just having the part where you can find a program, we wanted to kind of combine the entire approach and add a social element to it. So you can connect with trainers, connect with other users, you can find any program you want, and just trying to create the ultimate marketplace for personal training. Me personally, I have an accounting degree. Right when I graduated, I started working on this, so I don't really have a background in accounting per se. But yeah, I run like a big tech networking group in LA. Just love the startup scene, love everything about it, and yeah, just excited to talk more about fitness and all that.
Sounds good. So tell me, are you a coder yourself? Are you a developer? How did you get into programming?
I'm not actually either. So I've got a full dev team I've been with for a few years. I pretty much do everything besides the coding. So I do all the design work, created all the ideas, business model, getting the trainers on board, social media. I do pretty much everything besides the actual coding itself. When I first had the idea, like back in 2015, I had the idea. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna teach myself to code. And I got about like 30 minutes into an initial course, and I was like, yeah, can I cuss? I don't know. Can I cuss?
Yes, sure.
I was like, yeah, fuck this. This looks miserable. So
Yeah.
I just stuck with what I do, and I've got some pretty amazing developers on the team now. So glad I didn't go that route, because I feel like at some point, you kind of realize in this world what you're good at and what you're not good at.
Right. You stick to what you know. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if I would have forced myself to have to code it and do everything else, I think it would have been kind of a shit show. So
got it. Cory, so tell me, how did the idea come around? One day you woke up and then you're like, hey, you know what? I need a personal trainer and I can't find one. Is that what it is? What pushed you to start this whole app for personal trainers?
So it actually started off as just the marketplace for the trainer. So the new client management tool we have was actually just something that was highly requested. And so basically one thing I've realized is that, especially in the startup world, if people always ask for something, you should add it. So that was what we've added recently in the last year. But initially it was just the marketplace idea. I thought it was ridiculous that there were so many trainers and they had so many programs, and yet they didn't have anywhere to sell them. They were doing PDFs, or they were texting their buddy at workout. Like it wasn't actually a formalized marketplace. And I had the idea in high school, kind of forgot about it. Came home from class one day, my roommates in college were talking about making an app. They had like a whiteboard set up. They were drawing all this stuff. And I happened to just, walk by, and I was like, yo, like, this is pretty cool, I guess. And put my backpack down, came back in the room. The rest is history. Yeah. So, if I hadn't, I definitely would not be where I am doing what I'm doing had it not been for me coming home from class that night and then happening to wanting to like be involved in that conversation. So
cool.
That's kind of how it got started. Yeah.
So actually leads me to my next question. So did you have partners? So how many partners were involved when you started this whole thing?
Yeah, I've had partners in and out like crazy. It's like a fast food chain for partners. Basically, there's people just like, I've had my initial partner like from day one. Essentially he was super into it, but he's a great guy, but he's not like a startup guy. Like, neither was I. But he kind of lost passion for it after about a month and a half, 2 months. So we're still like best friends, but he has no part of the company anymore.
It's a big problem among entrepreneurs, by the way. They get very excited for a certain amount of time, and then they kind of, they cool off. So that to get that passion going, it takes some effort, So yes, it was one guy. Yeah. So, and then you added some more partners down the line, or how did it work?
No, and and to your point, at first I was really pissed off and I was upset with all these people, and then I realized that just like, people are different, and so I can't expect someone else to have the same passion I have, and so I've gotten a lot better at not judging people for not only their work ethic, but for like what passions they have, because everyone's different, then I had another best friend that still has equity, but like that's been diluted because he was involved and he hasn't done anything in like 3 years. So, I had another partner that put in like 15K early on, and then he was involved for 2 years, and then like kind of just towards the end of the 2 years started dropping off. And so, and then I have like a lot of investors and advisors and business partners now, but it's like the main partners that I started with, I'm not working with any of them. We're still all on great terms. I've never screwed anyone over in my life. So
Cory, really, really cool story. But when you were looking for a partner, were you looking for a developer per se, like a person that actually knows how to code?
I should have been. I was not in the beginning. I was looking for a development team because I knew the platform that we wanted to build. I knew it was too big for just one person. I did find a team locally, and it went terribly. Just absolute nightmare. I lost a lot of money, lost about 1.5 years just building that specific platform with this team. So that was a nightmare. But yeah, I was looking for someone to kind of just be another version of me, and I never found that. I still haven't. But along the way, I found people that can kind of like supplement roles that I'm not necessarily good at. So that's been nice. But but yeah, it's definitely I wasn't really looking for a development co-founder. I was looking for more of another me. And then
got it.
Eventually found the team. Yeah.
All right. I mean, so in terms of funding, so what was the initial investment?
That's a hard answer. I put in about 80K myself over time.
Would have been. I'm talking about first year. I'm interested in the first year.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of. The first year it was like, I was probably putting in a couple of grand. I did like a little website here. I was like waiting tables to fund it, and then like about 1 year in, we did a Kickstarter, which didn't go too well, and then I had a buddy put in 15K. And then friends and family put in 10K. So like around 25-ish initially, and then a whole lot of stuff after that.
Got it. I know your company was called something else when you started. What led to the whole name change, which was, I believe, recent, right? Like 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was we just switched in the App Store about 6 months ago. We officially changed the name about a little over 1.5 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
It was originally called Perfect, so PERFICT. It's like fit capitalized. And the main reason for the change was a couple of things. One, even though the name is like people say, I have friends that still say Perfect, and they're like, oh, like your app, and so it's definitely like free marketing in that sense. But having a misspelled name of a common word, I thought would be a benefit because I thought that people would always like recognize it, whatever. But it turned out to just be a huge detrimental thing on our website. So no one could ever find the website. In the App Store, you'd type in Perfect, and it would auto-correct you to the other word, the main way to spell it. So it was just terrible for SEO and ASO in the App Store. And so we finally just had to pivot. I spent months looking for a different name, and it was kind of hard to switch at first. But now that we've switched, it just feels so good. And so I don't have to.
How long did it take you to realize the name wasn't working?
I think I knew all along, but at the same time, there were so many people in my corner and just people that I randomly met that they would never get it at first. They would take a split second. They go, oh, wow, I really like that. So it was that like, I wanted like a concept like a Google where it's like we created our own little word. But the problem was that we didn't create our own word. We took a word and kind of misspelled it, which is way worse than what Google did, which just created their own. So, yeah.
All right, cool. So who's your target audience? Is it personal trainers, or is it actually people that are looking for a personal trainer, or is it both?
It's definitely the personal trainers themselves. So we have a huge market for the people that are looking for trainers, looking for, workouts they can follow, but definitely the personal trainers themselves are our target audience. Yeah.
And how do clients find you?
So with the main business model, the trainers. So we have a trainer, we have a client, and then we have that the client is the client of the trainer, and then we have exercisers, which are just athletes or exercisers that don't have a client or a program. So the trainers find us, whether it's social media. We're launching a referral program soon, so hopefully that's going to get up a lot of publicity for us and get more trainers on board. And then the exercisers find us via social media and ideally word of mouth. And so word of mouth hasn't been as good as we'd like it. And we realized a couple kind of leaky faucets in our mobile process. And so we're going to be fixing those within the next month and a half. And then that process should be growing a lot more. But yeah, those are kind of the main ways they find us.
Awesome. So the clients, so not the personal trainers, the people that are looking for personal trainer, do they have to pay to join the app?
So the app's totally free. So yeah, if you want to work with a trainer, you can 100% just download the app, and then we have a Find My Trainer search so you can filter through, like, whether a trainer is better at bodybuilding or powerlifting.
Okay.
And then you can filter through like how many years they've been a trainer, how much they cost, blah, blah, blah. And it's totally free to do all that. And then you don't actually pay until you become that trainer's client, and then you go from there. Yeah.
And so I looked at your website, so your packages vary, right, depending on how many clients they have, from what I understood. So what's your average client paying you monthly?
So those are for the trainer. So the trainer pays, it's right now, because we're kind of early stage, the average trainer is paying about 17 a month, which is our five client. And we're going to be adding a lot more features and a lot more add-ons, and then we'll be growing our trainer base. So that average is probably going to get up to about like 23 to 25.
Sure.
We're estimating. So, with some trainers coming in at the $99 package for unlimited. Yeah.
Got it. And so due to the whole pandemic and COVID, how did it affect your business? Did the sales go up? Did it go down? What does it look like right now?
It's kind of a combination of both. So we're getting more personal trainers signing up for sure. But we're getting less trainers signing up that have clients that are going to be paying them. So, which means conversion rate's a lot lower, just because a lot of trainers are like, oh, this is awesome, it's what I'm looking for, but they're basically expecting us to just give them clients like left and right, which isn't how the world works. Like, we can't, if we ran a platform that just got every trainer 5 clients instantly, like, we would be doing something else. We'd be making a lot of money just doing that. It's just one of our secondary business models. So they're signing up thinking they're going to get a bunch of clients, and we're kind of trying to explain to them, like, that is a cool feature that we offer, but like the main process is that you bring your own clients on board, you manage all that. So
is that how you upsell your clients? I'm sorry. So is that by providing marketing for them, and then, hey, we could, you could use our lead generating tool to get your clients, or that's not the way you guys operate?
It definitely is. And again, it's we definitely do that. And you can also make the money off of the marketplace as well. So they're definitely secondary revenue streams for both us and the trainers, but at the same time, like, they are secondary, and we make that very obvious and clear, especially during the demo videos, that like, we can't guarantee any sales, we can't guarantee any programs, any clients. So it is a huge upsell, but like, you can't go onto our platform like expecting that to be your bread and butter, because it's just not realistic. Yeah.
And those personal trainers that are clients, so they could actually work, they could train a customer remotely or in the gym, right? Or is that how it works?
Yeah, so you can do both. Sorry, I gotta follow this guy. Yeah, you can do both. So you can, and we're actually adding a lot more features once COVID's kind of died down a little bit, for the in-person stuff, but it's mainly for online. And then within the next couple of months, we'll be releasing stuff like scheduling, session tracking, all that kind of stuff. So there's definitely going to be an opportunity to basically have all of your clients in one place versus just the online. Yeah.
Got it. So how much is your CAC right now?
Honestly, like, we're pretty early stage. I don't really have like too good of an answer for that, because we basically have put no money into marketing at this point.
Okay. So word of mouth, pretty much. Got it.
Yeah. So word of mouth, I'm doing a lot of DMs via Instagram. So like, once we raise this upcoming funding round, because basically we raised the money to build the platform, and now we're raising the money to really.
You did a pre-seed right now. You did a pre-seed, right? Is that what it is? Or
yeah. I mean, you can look at it that way. Yeah, I feel like the terminology for like what a round is called is kind of all over the place.
Sure.
And it's also hard to answer that too, because I've converted a lot of our development into equity. So instead of spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding on development, I've just kind of converted X% of the company into development.
Yeah, and how much funding did you raise to just build the prototype?
So we've had a lot lifetime to date. We've had about 250K put into the company, and then that's covering like the multiple apps that we've built, just different versions, like including Perfect.
Okay.
And then I would estimate at least a couple $100K just of like development converted to equity from the development team.
So you're saying it's 250 plus 200? It's close.
Sorry, what?
Is it 250 plus 200, or is it 200?
Yeah, I would say about that. Yeah. If we had just built the platform we have outright without like the huge discounts we get, without everything that we have, it would have probably cost like 600, 700K, something like that.
Sure. How much equity did you have to give up?
For the developers, I mean, I won't say like the specific amount, but like it's not like it's not like 25% or anything like that. We have a pretty good relationship. I send development or I send companies their way. If they'd ever need a referral or like someone to talk to one of their potential customers, I'm definitely the person they bring up. So we have a really good relationship, and our goal is just kind of be successful. So, I mean, they don't have like 40% or anything like that, but they definitely have like a, they're like, I think they're the third highest shareholder of the company. So, it's been a really good relationship.
Is it VCs that you raise funding from, or is it a private equity group?
I haven't done any VCs. I've done mostly friends, family, and angels up to this point. So I know a ton of VCs, especially through my own podcast. Like I interview VCs all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just like we're pretty early with our traction, and so I'm kind of not naive to the fact that like they want to see us, doing 10K a month before they're going to open the door. And so
absolutely.
I just got some months of work ahead of me to kind of get to that point.
You definitely want to show a healthy growth before you raise any revenue, not to lose too much equity in your company. So how many clients do you have now?
Yeah, so we've got a couple thousand users on the app, and that'll grow in like about a week and a half. We're doing like a big youth campaign kind of thing. And then we've got about 100, I've got 230 trainers that have added programs. So it's about 500 programs almost on the app. And then we've got about 50 paying trainers, and then about 100 trainers on the actual, like the private training section that are either doing free trials or that are paying. So,
when you said a few thousand clients, are these paying customers, or these are customers that, have trial accounts and paying customers?
So a few thousand users. So like a few thousand users on the app. So that's like exercisers that are either buying programs on the marketplace or just using the app for free for the journal and the social features and all that. And then besides that, we've got the two sides of the coin where we have the marketplace programs and the private training. So we've had 230 trainers add marketplace programs. And then for the private training, we have about 100 trainers on there. And then of those 100, we have about 50 that are paying, and then the other 50 are on free trials or whatever they're doing. So
you have about 230 personal trainers that are paying average $17 a month. And then you have trainees, right? That 50 of them, they're also paying monthly costs, right? From what I understand.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So do you have any numbers now? Do you have any, what's your annual growth percentage right now?
Well, so we just launched the CRM. So, I mean, we don't really have
very recent. So you have no data.
Yeah, very, very recent. Yeah. And then even after we launched it, there was like definitely some bugs and stuff we wanted to fix. So we're talking like month and a half to 2 months that we've been like actually live, like really growing it, and then no marketing spend. So I'll have a much bigger number next year. And especially once we raise a funding round and put some marketing into it, it'll be a lot better.
I'd love to interview you then.
There we go. I'll be here.
Raise around. All right. So what does your team look like right now? So how many people on your team, and what does it consist of?
So in the US, it's honestly me and one other person. And then in the Ukraine, we've got about 7 people.
In the Ukraine?
So I've been with them. That's the team that I've been with. Sorry, what?
Which town is it?
In Viv. I think it's Viv. I think it's
sure. I'm from Ukraine. That's why I'm curious.
Okay. Oh, you are? Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, Viv and hold on. Let me pull this up really quick.
The Kharkov?
No, I can't. I should know where they're at. I definitely.
And I'm guessing that's your engineering team down there, right? So that's your development team, right? That's building the software.
Yeah. Well, so I've got developers, designers, project manager, quality assurance. Like I've got the whole squad out there.
And that team, so they own part of your equity, right? Is that how you guys done the deal?
Yeah, so it's a combination of they get equity and we pay them each month. So it works out pretty well. Yeah, they're in Viv, so LVIV, and then Ternopil.
Oh, Ternopil, not Chernobyl.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. I was always like,
I went there a few years ago. Great city.
Yeah, I was like, isn't Chernobyl like destroyed? Like,
I don't know, different town, different part of Ukraine. Cool, really cool. So what's your monthly recurring revenue right now? So what are you guys pulling right now?
So yeah, still pretty early. So we're doing about 1,000 a month. So
Got it.
that's definitely, so it's nothing too crazy yet.
Yeah,
So
but it's that difficult time right now that's gaining momentum,
yeah,
trying to get customers, and so that's it's the most difficult time, if you ask me, in a sense.
no, absolutely. Yeah. We got a little ways to go, but it's definitely early, and we're just trying to get to the point where we're doing about like 5K a month. So
Mhm.
just trying to get more trainers on board, and yeah, go
Sure,
ahead.
sure. I'm not gonna ask about churn, but you
Mhm.
have what percentage of clients would you say cancel, if any, or
Mhm.
keep track of these numbers?
Well, it's not even a cancel problem. Like once trainers, because there's a free trial, and then so I guess you could call that canceling if they don't put their
If they don't
card in
sign
at the
up,
end of the
yeah,
month.
that yeah, that's
Yeah.
not, they just don't sign up. It's it doesn't.
Exactly. That's the main problem right now, is that because like once they're signed up and paying, like
Sure.
in the past 2 months we've only had like 1 or 2 trainers cancel, so nothing like crazy.
Hmm.
Because once you're using it, it's like it makes sense and it's amazing. So it's not like a
Hmm.
cancel problem. It's more of like we need to work on our onboarding because trainers are signing up and then they're just not really adding clients, because once they add that first client, they're like, okay, this is amazing, I'm sold. But like we just need to get them to actually add that first client. And that's probably a problem on our onboarding, to get them to take
Sure.
that first
Yeah.
step to really
Yeah.
try it out. So
Right.
yeah,
So the customer success is very important. So you
absolutely.
guys provide discounts for like annual subscription if you give them like a year versus 1 month, for, I don't know, $17 to give them a year for like $10 a month. You have
We
those.
haven't added that yet, but that's definitely, I mean, if someone DM me about that, I'd be like, yeah, 100%.
Sure.
But yeah, we haven't added that yet just because we just changed our business model, like as far as the payments go. We're changing, updating things every single day. So we'll probably add the yearly here in a few months, but I just haven't made it a priority, but it's
Sure.
definitely gonna be in the next
Uh-huh.
business model for sure. Yeah.
No. Really cool. Awesome. So tell me, what is your favorite online platform that you guys utilize for your team? They use
Oh, I
them.
got them all here in my bookmarks. I mean, I do love Google Meet, which is what
Uh-huh.
I use that a lot just for like just quick meetings. Obviously use Slack and all that stuff.
Okay, you guys. Okay.
I organize all my stuff in Asana. I absolutely worship Asana.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's incredible. And then, so I use Asana for communicating with my project manager, and then she converts all that stuff over to Jira. So Jira.
Uh-huh.
And
Cool.
so the dev team will handle all the updates and the software, like actual path on Jira. And then the overall like vision and projects and, ideas that I build will be handled in Asana. Um, and then we use InVision and Figma. I believe it's Figma. Vision and Figma for all of our design work. So like kind of following the design flows and just building out that process. And then Stripe for billing. Um, I like to use Hotjar and Google
What
Analytics.
CRM system do you guys use?
I use HubSpot. Yeah.
HubSpot. Perfect.
Yeah. So
All
yeah, I didn't like it at first. And then, cause I think they don't do a good job of like really showing you how it works. I think they're kind of just like, here's a bunch of shit. And you're just kind of like, it's super overwhelming.
Yes.
You're just like, I don't even know where to start. It's
Yeah. It
ridiculous. And
takes some
so
time to get familiar with this, with their,
exactly, they should baby it down for sure. Cause once I got going, I was like, oh, you can do this and this. And so I actually really enjoy it now. But at first it was so frustrating. So yeah.
got it.
Absolutely.
All right. So my last question would be, if you were to take yourself back when you just started, what would you do different?
I would break my computer so I never had to do this. I'm just kidding. No, I would. Well, I mean, that's such an. It's easy to answer that because I know I could build my app right now in like 3 or 4 months. But I mean, the easiest advice I would give to someone in my shoes is I wouldn't have built an app at first. I would have built a functional mobile website, and
Totally.
then I
Yes.
would have. Yeah, I wouldn't have done the marketplace either. I would have done just the client management tool, because our client management tool is so much better than any of our other competitors out there. But we spent so many years and time on the marketplace that like it kind of just like drained the process. Like the funding went there, the time went there, and then it was like at the end of the day, the marketplace has made us like a couple $1,000 cumulatively, and it's like,
Mhm.
and then the private training is already doing that monthly, so it's like it's just frustrating to have that process.
Yeah.
Be such a big part
It's
of the
trial and
journey.
error a lot of times, right? So
Exactly.
nothing you could do
Yeah.
about that. And how many hours a week would you say you put into this?
Honestly, in the last month, I've been so lazy. I've been doing like 5 to 8 a day, which is nothing. And I'm trying today. I'm like, okay, I'm getting back on track. But before that, I mean, I wake up at like 7 in the morning and I just start working, and then I'll work out, for like an hour or two. I might like watch some TV show for like an hour, and then I go to bed at like 12 or 1. But in between those times, I'm just working the whole time. So, I mean, I'm putting in like easily 12 to 15 hours a day, every day. Like I work weekends, Friday nights, like whatever. So I don't even know how many hours that is, but it's a lot.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Really, really cool. Thank you for all the info. It's a great pleasure having you in this interview, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay.
Absolutely, man. All right. You take care.